So today I'm going to demonstrate one of many ways to transfer a design onto fabric. And what we're going to use today is carbon copy graphite tracing paper. And this is by Megacraft. And this isn't specific to fabric. This can actually be used for a number of things, transferring to wood, transferring to paper. And one of the uses actually is not, it doesn't specify fabric, but it works really well on fabric. It's one of my favorite ways to transfer. So basically I'm going to demonstrate how to get this onto the fabric. And this is a piece of the paper, and this is what it looks like. So what you're going to need in order for us to do this is, of course, the Megacraft transfer paper. You're going to need a design that you're going to be transferring onto the fabric, and of course fabric itself. And then you're also going to need a fairly hard surface. Now this is a table underneath here, but I have it padded, so I want an extra hard surface. So what I have here is just simply just a hard piece of cardboard, and this is just a sketch pad that we're going to be demonstrating on today. And then of course a type of a stylus. So this has two different ends. One's a little bit bigger than the other. Both work well. You can even use the end of a ballpoint pen that no longer works anymore. So that's something to consider. So I have here a piece of fabric, and what we're doing today is going to be transferring a design. This is for a landscape class I'm going to be teaching. We're going to be embroidering this. So I'm actually getting this ready for everybody to do. So I have kind of a skeletal design of what I need transferred out, and I'll show you. This is what we're going to be doing in the class. So I'm going to be transferring basically the outline of this design, and I'm going to be painting on the linen. So I have kind of a little mark here too to kind of demonstrate the center of the fabric and how to get that in there. And what also is handy too for tools that you'll need is kind of a ruler. So my fabric here is about 14.5 inches. So I'm going to position the middle of this at about 7.25. That's about halfway there. And then from the top down here is about 16.5. So I'm going to bring that down to about 8.25. So that gets my design fairly centered. And what I've done kind of loosely, I'm just going to line up this bottom line with the weave of the fabric so it transfers over nice and straight. I have a couple pieces of tape just so that this doesn't move around a lot. And what you don't need to do, but what I'm doing is basically I cut out a square so I can use that as a transfer. So we have this all lined up. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our carbon paper right underneath here. We want the shiny side down because that is the part that transfers. And again, line it up straight. We look nice and straight there. The carbon paper doesn't need to be exactly straight, but your design does. So basically now any type of pressure I put on this is going to transfer the carbon straight onto the fabric. So I'm going to take my stylus all around this square that I would like to have as kind of a boundary for when people are embroidering. They'll kind of know where the design stops, and also too when I'm painting I'll know where to stop. So we got that taken care of. And now basically all I'm going to do is just go over my lines. It doesn't need a lot of pressure. You can just simply go over it as though you were writing with a pen. So this doesn't take any type of heat to set it, but it will come off. So for purposes, if it's a design that you want to keep for a while, or you're not sure if you're going to be embroidering it for a while, or perhaps you're doing it for somebody so they can embroider it, what I would do after this step is go over all of my lines with a permanent pen. One thing you want to make note too, have your fabric definitely ironed. Any type of creases or things like that will get in your way as you're trying to do this art. And I think we got everything. Sometimes I'll go and I'll kind of double check, but we can always put it back down. And there's our transfer. And I did it with a nice light hand. If you want a little bit darker marks, you can certainly go over it again. Again, this can be erased off. If you were to take a kneaded eraser, you could erase some marks and redo it again if you messed up. But what I'm going to do for class purposes is I'm going to probably outline this for everybody so that it just doesn't disappear. Popping it in and out of a hoop, it's going to disappear like that. So you got to be careful with that. But that's it. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll go over more transfer designs. Thanks for watching.